Hi everyone, this is my project presentation for ART307 Information Design. And so my project is going to create a promotional brochure for a model of spaceship, similar to a car brochure of today, but imagining how the brochures would look for the ways of transport that that people would use in the future. I began research on existing car brochures for high-end sports cars, as I wanted my spaceship to be targeted at the higher-end clients. So this is the Audi R8 brochure, and one thing I noticed while looking at all these car brochures that they had a very similar structure. They started off with big product shots of the car itself in simple environments, as you can see in the top left, and then had close-up shots of features of the car, be it the lights and the side doors panels here, and then the interior with the steering wheel and different seats in the cabin. They also made use of the end pages of the brochure as ways to show off the performance and the specifications of the specific car. And so then follow it up at the end with accessories and materials such as wheels, different side panels, and different seats that could be used to make the car their own. This is pretty much the same for all of them, such as the 458 Italia here, which follows pretty much the same structure. Some variations using a big double page spread for big dynamic shots of the car racing through roads and on the racetrack itself as well, to give a more sporty feel to it. The Lamborghini Murcielago is another one. A very simple brochure, only 6 double pages, but shows off the car as the main highlights, what the customer wants to see. You know, it really sells it when they just show you the best things about it, such as the exotic nature of the car and these desert landscapes, as well as the car being in the spotlight when all the highlights of the specifications are shown. And this brochure is quite special, as the company Aston Martin made a car as a concept car, not for production, but just to see how far they could push the design of their cars and their design team to give a really futuristic and very luxurious car. And I really like the way the designers sketch these concepts. They almost show more motion than the photorealistic computer generated images seen in other brochures. To begin design on the spaceship, as that would need to come very first and foremost, I looked at different shapes of high-end sports cars here, as they gave a lot of leeway between the softer curves and smooth lines of the cars on the left, such as the Porsche and the Ferraris. And then you also had the other end of the spectrum with the harsh, jagged, triangular shapes of the Lamborghinis off to the right. Looking into aerospace and F1 cars and also land speed record cars, I wanted to show the aerodynamic design as if the spaceship was designed with that in mind, and so that it would really be the peak of performance that this customer could get. To help with the futuristic look of it, I did some investigation into car companies that had made concept cars for futuristic, a lot of electric cars from makers such as Tesla, Audi, Mercedes here. And they almost look alien in design, with some are having organic curves, making it look more natural than such a man-made object. So to begin being able to sketch in the car designer style, I began just practicing the techniques on actual cars or car concepts. And then I could move this into spaceships, which here we see some of my very, very rough thumbnail designs for the front of the eventual spaceship. I knew from the start I wouldn't have wheels, as of course it's a spaceship instead of a car, so I needed to come up with a way to get it off the ground and still be able to propel itself forward or back if need be. And so these are a few very rough designs, as well as these more dynamic poses and perspectives of them. But I still wasn't sure about any of these. I needed a bit more experimentation to get the design I wanted. I wasn't happy with the digital sketches, so I moved into traditional fine point sketches and did these traditionally, which I felt worked a bit better. This is the final design for the spaceship. It just needs to be refined a lot and perspective errors corrected with some of the shots at the bottom. But I feel like it's a very futuristic and still holds a lot of car design from now. I made a rough model, rough 3D model on Maya to give me a base for any tough perspective work that I could use, just get a quick render and then draw my design over it. It'll come in handy for the product shots, of course, where I need to keep consistency in the car's look. And so the planned schedule is as seen here, and I believe over the next 6 to 8 weeks, I believe this is achievable, and I feel like I can get it done. So I'd love to hear what everyone thinks, and thanks for listening.